Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to another recording session of Hearthstone. So, we've got a little bit of a weirdness going on today. We've got 5 Tavern Brawls I can trade, or I can trade one of the 40 things. The right thing to do would be to trade the 40 and do the 5 Tavern Brawls. However, as I just looked, Tavern Brawl's already gone. I took too long. Alright, which one do we want to get rid of? Play 30 druid cards or play 20 minions that cost 5 or more? I think this is more difficult. So cast 40 spell. Oh man, what did I just do? That was dumb. Can we cheat a little bit here? Can we possibly hit like Control Alt Delete and maybe just terminate with Extreme Prejudice the Hearthstone, and maybe it won't remember that? I clicked the wrong thing. Full on cheating today. Let's see if that worked. I'll be surprised if it worked, actually, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Well, if it doesn't work, now the program is just being awkward and showing me black screen. If it didn't work, then we are in a weird thing. Let's just go ahead and shut down all of everything. Close the program again, and we'll start again from the beginning and hope everything works. This is probably the exact opposite of what you would want to do in a Hearthstone, though this is totally something they probably could catch you doing. Everything's moved around here, and yep, I can't move things around. I totally screwed up there. Well, I can't do the Tavern Brawls, so this is going to be a short recording session, and I guess we'll have to come back in one day and do Tavern Brawls. Also, this card pack is not available till April. Also, please don't tell me that your most recent update was the update to all the new cards. I don't think it is, but they're getting ready to that point. They are certainly working towards that point in which Journey to Nguro will probably just unlock with a simple trigger right at noon. Maybe I should schedule a special alarm clock for that. Yeah. So, play 20 minions that cost 5 or more, cast 40 spells. Let's start with something simple then. The Battlecry deck, or the Overload deck. Which one would use more spells? Maybe the Secrets deck. Let's go with the Secrets deck. Why not? We'll play ranked. We'll do this. Let's start down. It's been a weird few days. There's frankly a big issue that's growing in the internet in total that I don't want to immediately get into, because I may very well do an entire recording just on that. So let's talk about everything around it.
I will fight with
so the standard Tegra X1 has been confirmed, I think, by your gamer, if not somebody else, or maybe Nintendo came back and actually said it. I guess I should know these things and do better research if I'm going to claim to be a news reporter. Although part of the bigger story that I'm trying to avoid to talk about is about news reporters not doing a very good job, and frankly, I'm not doing a very good job here. Anyways, but what this comes down to is Nintendo claimed there was a custom
Job's done.
Tegra chip in the Nintendo Switch. Now it seems like it's not a custom one. It's just an X1, which is the exact same chip in the NVIDIA Shield. However, it does seem that using their that extra time for this old chip has allowed them to optimize and get more performance out of it than you would expect to see. However, in a bigger issue, though,
Reporting for duty.
there's still very much not the best performance ever happening
Job's
on
done.
the Switch. It's not like the Switch was ever even planning on being an amazingly powerful portable device. If you compared it to a tablet, though, maybe. I mean, you'd have to get a pretty top of the line tablet to get better performance, and you're still probably not going to get better performance because of just a factor of optimization. When somebody's programming a game to run on one device versus Android tablets in general, that's a big difference. Let's see, hero power. Let's go ahead and do this. And let's do this.
Job's
And then
done.
return. Super Mario Run is coming to Android, finally. I'll probably do the free part of it, but I don't think I'm going to actually buy the rest of it. Mass Effect Andromeda apparently gets better later on in the game. So, it just leaves a bad first impression. Not that it's still great, but it gets better than the first impression is what I'm hearing. For Honor, here's an interesting one. For Honor, by all effects, a already completely dead game that has just
Job's
been
done.
completely like thrown out there to die, and there's very little Ubisoft could do to save it. But the one thing that they have done certainly isn't going to save it. Somebody ran up the numbers for how much it would cost to buy every single piece of cosmetic DLC,
Reporting for duty.
which I think all the DLC is cosmetic, but it's still definitely a concern in the fact that it's so much of it, and the game is definitely built around you grinding to get steel, and it takes a lot. So in the running the numbers, it costs,
Who am I?
on top of the $60 game, assuming you just bought the $60 version of it, it costs $732 to buy all the other unlockables for the 12 different characters. Or, to grind, if they don't add anything more to purchase, just right now, to grind it out, 2.5 years on it, playing an average of 2 hours a day. Ridiculous. This is interesting. How am I going to get this to work?
What? They fell off a truck.
Let's see what happens.
Job's done.
Get down!
Is that all that's going to activate is Noble Sacrifice? And then Avenge. And then Redemption. And he's got one more secret to go. Alright. So, yeah. For Honor. Totally not doing what's necessary to keep that game going. Or worth it at all. On the exact opposite scale of the of it. Diablo 3 started off very badly, I guess, with its real money marketplace idea, and had a pretty bad game when it first started. And over a decent amount of time, Blizzard, the makers of this game, have patched it and fixed it and got rid of the real money marketplace and are adding actual content too. So the next patch is to add a character armory and better crafting UI. If I ever got around to playing Diablo 3 again, which because I did play it a little bit on Xbox 360, although I don't think I finished it. There's it's going to be a really good experience. I don't know what I can really do with Diablo though, because you're talking 3 games that are designed to be played multiple times around and very much grinding and all of that. And I think really I'd rather just play Torchwood. I don't even know if I have, not Torchwood, Torchlight. And I think I've played Torchlight, but I don't even know. So that's some weirdness in itself that I can't even remember whether I've played the game.
Demo. Out of bullets.
So yeah, that's odd. That is an odd thing. I've played enough games now, I've finally hit that point. A company called .emu, .emu, they have a interesting kind of backwards logo that looks almost like the exact opposite of Codemasters. But they're closing down their own personal online store because of there's just too much competition out there with Steam and Origin and Uplay, and also now you've got Good Old Games and Amazon Launcher coming into it. So a lot of competition out there. .emu is definitely doing the right thing though, because I looked up on Steam what they sell. They have Another World and Metal Slug, 2 very old games, and about 6 others that aren't worth mentioning. And literally when I saw this story, I was like, who? I have no idea. I've never heard of this company. And that says something. It says something that probably I should get more familiar with every single video game company out there that's worth knowing, but it also says there's a lot of them, and if you're not making something big. Team 17 is probably about the smallest video game company that I would think should be known, and anything below like Team 17 who make the Worms, like Worms World Party and Worms Armageddon and all of those games. They make enough games in the Worms genre at least for it to make a little bit of sense. I think I'm gonna hold this one in my hand. So anything below Team 17, I would argue, are the individual people, where you start to say, well, it's just this guy and his small team, kind of like The Witness. As it doesn't really, in my mind, matter who The Witness is, what his company was, because he just made it, and it was more about that. Peter Molyneux, another person where his name holds a lot more weight than any team he's working with. So I would more assume, I'd more call it Peter Molyneux's company than I would call it whatever his company's actually called. Evil Within is allegedly in production based off a job listing. This is part of the not news segment. No duh. Of course it was in production. Everything is in production unless it's not in production. And it probably is.
This no looks safe.
So I'm hoping it hits this guy when he dies. Kevin Bruner, who is the Telltale CEO, is stepping down as CEO after 2 years of being in the position. Dan Connors, who is the
How many
co-founder
fingers
of
do you see?
Telltale, is becoming the CEO again, as he was before. So he stepped up as CEO in 2015, and now he's stepping down. You kind of have to think what's happened in the past 2 years with Telltale. It's kind of succeeded amazingly well. So
I wonder.
I don't really know if this is a personal reason that he's stepping down or if this is a performance reason, because like if you told me the person who before The Walking Dead came out, the person who was CEO before that, who I assume is Dan Connors, but maybe there was a CEO before that, the people who had made the Sam and Max series, the people who had made Jurassic Park, the people who had made all of those games, and it kind of got bad and really bad. If you told me that guy was stepping down, I'd say, okay, good. Those games haven't been good. It's time for a new direction. Now, it is also very arguable that it is time for a new direction. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I didn't realize this is what I was going to end up having happen. Do I have anything explosive traps wise? Nope. I'm just going to end the turn here then. But I don't think The Walking Dead came out in 2015. I don't think we've had this incredibly cram-packed 2 years. It's been, I think, a little bit longer than that. I think it's been since like 2012. Maybe inherently that's where this comes from, is that Dan Connors set them down a path of doing The Walking Dead and doing a bunch of games like that, and it turned out to be more of an issue where it's turned out to be an issue where Kevin Bruner simply couldn't get any new license. So, like, I don't know, have the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Telltale Borderlands game, have they been in the works for 2 years and it actually was Dan Connors? That seems a little bit unlikely.
Job's done.
Let's just keep playing. So, we shall see, I guess, with Telltale. Inherently, I want Telltale to take a different direction. Their style of gameplay works, but they need to come back to the old point-and-click style too. Like, have a couple of games of a couple different styles. They need to heavily reinvest in their engine for their new style of gameplay with the Telltale tool, because it can't show graphics very well. They don't look good. It's just that simple. They don't look good. They don't animate good. They probably should just go to Unreal or something. Similar to the Mass Effect animations issue. It's like they're on the Frostbite engine with Mass Effect. Maybe they should have just been on Unreal. Maybe everybody should just be on Unreal. Let's see, this and this and kill this,
Job's done.
and in the turn this guy's getting stronger each time. Unsurprisingly, the Nier Automata is not PC port is not the main focus version. it's still very playable, but it's at a locked 60 frames per second, and there's some menu issues and a few little issues here and there that they're working on and they're gonna patch. For a Japanese company to even make a PC version, though, is a big improvement and a big help from what we've had before. So I still feel like we're going in the right direction. Back onto our not news segment. The Witcher 3 devs started out with no clue how to make video games. Duh. Every single developer starts out with no clue how to make programs or video games. Because that's where you always start. If somebody starts out knowing perfectly how to make video games, they're some kind of genius that can have their brain programmed. That's really ridiculous. Alright. Let's see. And how much progress have we made so far? We played 3 minions that cost 20 or more, and we've done 15 of 40 spells. And I need to get at least one thing done, and then maybe tomorrow I'll record the rest of these episodes. That way at least I don't lose the quest. And then I've been recording Dirt 3 all today earlier to try to get it finished, and finally got it finished. Thank goodness for that. So scheduling that and
Let the hunt begin.
And moving forward just to figuring out what the next game I need to play is, what time slot I need to get in there. It was great. And see, tomorrow though I'm gonna also be mostly out of things to talk about. That's gonna be weird. That is gonna be very weird. Like, let's see. Kerbal Space Program has new expansion that's gonna have a mission editor in it. Oh man, I erased all of that sentence. That's not gonna help if something went wrong in this recording, which a lot of things probably could have gone wrong in this recording in particular. Dead Rising 4's next add-on turns Frank West into a zombie. I guess that means they're going to either kill off Frank West forever, or they've got some kind of, or it's gonna be non-canon style
Job done.
add-on. I think they're probably gonna kill Frank West off forever because they had a different voice actor anyways talking to that and doing the voice acting, so that is a very much good guess. And then the final thing I have, except for a couple of things that I'm gonna put off till next time. Next time's gonna be political. Just, again, it keeps happening. I keep trying to avoid it. I keep telling people not to go political, and it still always happens. Mass Effect Andromeda's cell phone app, both for iOS and Android, makes navigating their terrible menus better. So it's probably a decent thought to get the app and try and use it just as a touch interface. Dirt 3 had some pretty awful menus too, just things illogically placed.
This no look save.
Cat trick or attack. I don't really need to win here. I'm really just trying to play spells and play things that cost 5 or more. And I don't have a ton of things that have cost 5 or more. And so that's an issue. Let's see. If I play this, if I do this, and then end the turn. This guy's getting stronger each turn. I need something that would kill him quickly. See, before I play this card, it would be very nice to have the Unleash the Hounds. Get them really powered up. Right. I could do this, or I could do one spell.
I have no time for games.
So we'll do that. And I'm about to lose. So we're in a good position. We've done the full time. I don't know if I'm really going to go the 25 to 30 minutes in the next recording ranting, but I think there's probably enough to rant here. The world is getting suckier. The world of the internet. Are kids out of school? Is that it? Can we blame the kids? Are the kids alright? Let's see. That's a stupid way to think. So I've gotten 5 of 20 minions that it cost 5 or more played. And I've done 20 of 40 spells. So there's still some work that needs to be done. Hopefully I can get at least one quest done for today, and then tomorrow when it comes back for Tavern Brawl, we'll do one more. We'll do 5 Tavern Brawls, and hopefully it's a really, really easy Tavern Brawl. Anywho, we're at 8,435. We're not going to hit that 10,000 probably before the next expansion happens, but we might be closer than we were last time. I think we probably are. If we were at 10,000, that would be, and we only spent 5,000, we'd have 5,000 already for the next expansion, which isn't going to be for a few months. And then for those few months, we could try to get more gold, but I'm not sure that's really going to happen that way. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.